What if you do the right things for the wrong reasons? Because the disciples loved God and had compassion for people, they continued to share that Jesus was the one God sent to give hope to the world. And when they performed miracles as Jesus had, the crowds listened to what they had to say. In the crowds was a man named Simon. He was a well-known sorcerer in the city who used magic on people. He amazed people of all classes and boasted of his greatness. But when the disciples taught about Jesus, Simon and many others believed their message. He was astonished by the miracles the disciples performed and followed them around in awe. When the disciples laid their hands on those who believed and then prayed for these people, God filled them with the Holy Spirit. Simon saw this and offered the disciples money. "Give me this ability also," he said, "so that everyone I lay my hands on may receive the Holy Spirit." But Peter, a leader of the disciples, said, "May you and your money perish because you thought you could buy the gift of God. You will not receive the Holy Spirit because you have the wrong motives. Turn from your sin and ask God to forgive your evil thoughts. For I see there is envy in your heart." And Simon answered, "Please pray to God for me, so that nothing you said will happen to me." God's Holy Spirit led the disciples to share about Jesus wherever they went. One disciple named Paul was sent by the Holy Spirit to tell foreigners outside Israel about Jesus. Once, Paul and his friend Silas were visiting Macedonia and were beaten and imprisoned for casting an evil spirit out of a young girl. Even in prison, they prayed and sang praises to God. Suddenly, a strong earthquake broke open the prison doors, and the chains fell off the prisoners. When the jailer saw the doors open, he feared that Paul, Silas, and the others had escaped. He drew his sword to kill himself. But Paul cried out, "Don't hurt yourself. We're all here." The jailer collapsed at their feet and said, "What must I do to be saved?" They answered, "Put your trust in Jesus, and you and your family will be saved." The jailer brought Paul and Silas home, and his whole family believed in Jesus as the only way to God. They were baptized at once as a sign of their new life. How did Simon and the jailer respond differently to the message of Jesus?